Nice, man. You see the color of my hand?
It's nice.
Huh? Huh? November, it's Military Appreciation Month. Where's your patriotic self, boy?
We'll see it. We'll see it.
Welcome to Pick Six, where we cover six teams in the NFL, that being the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Niners, the Packers, the Rams, and of course, our beloved Steelers. Oh, man, I was absent last week, man.
That you were.
I was.
That you were.
But I wasn't absent in my picks. Oh, no. I told you. I said, here comes a comeback. Don't worry, man. I'm
Still behind.
All right.
Still behind.
Takes more than 1 week.
You're acting like you're the champ here.
Okay.
All right. I'm still the head of the table in pick six.
Week 10 out of 18, not including the playoffs. So, by the way, I just got some good word, man, that Pick Six might be invited to the Super Bowl. So we will see. What do we got, man?
That threw me way off guard. I'm sorry, guys. That threw me way off guard. But we don't even have a game to start off. We have the Los Angeles Rams of Inglewood, who are 3-6, coming on a bye week. Good week to have a bye week. Week 10, I think that's a pretty balanced out season. Their season hasn't been very balanced out. They're at 3-6. What do you have on the Rams?
I thought they were going to be better than what they are. I never thought the Rams were like a formidable team. Like, oh man, this is going to be one of the teams to beat, right? But they're definitely not in the position where I thought they were going to be in. I thought they were going to be doing a little bit better. Never did I think they were going to win that division, the NFC West. But I thought they'd be just a little more competitive, not just in that division, but just in the entire league. And no, man, it's I guess it's been a little rough for them, man.
Yeah, I think it's just not a talent problem. It's just more of a bit of a rough schedule and just unfortunate things like injuries and things like that. Matthew Stafford was injured last week. It just seems more unfortunate. I know they're better than a 3-6 record. I think they still have somewhat of a shot to make the playoffs, but they have to go on one heck of a run to do that. And probably losing maybe only 2 games. Probably going 9-8.
Yeah. I mean, a 3-6 record, Holmes. That's like, wow, dog. I don't know. I thought other teams would have 3-6 records, man. I'm looking at your shirts. I would thought that certain teams will have 3-6 records, man. But the Rams definitely was not one of them. And like I said, I don't want to exaggerate and say that I thought they were going to be a great team. But, man, I never thought they were going to be 3-6, man. Here we go into week 10. Now, okay, so they're going into a bye week.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Well needed.
Yeah.
Well needed.
Okay, well needed. Can they turn it around coming out?
I believe so. I still think they could squeeze out that 7th seed. Like I said, there's not many teams in the NFC that stand out other than the 4 teams, I guess you could say. You could add Dallas in there if you want. I'm not. Due to okay, I'm not going to get into Dallas yet, but I'm not going to say that they can't make that 7th seed. I think they could go 6 or 7-2 to end off the season. I really think they can. Or no, 6-2. Yeah.
Yeah, 6-2.
Yeah, I think they can. I think
okay.
They're a bit of a rough schedule and things like that. I don't know how their schedule looks for the rest of the year, but I'm pretty confident they could go 6-2.
Okay, 6 out of 8 games.
I think it's possible.
And that could push on. Yeah, they could get in there with winning 6 out of the last 8.
All right. Next, we have Sunday Night Football between the New Jersey Jets, who are 4-4, coming off a loss against the Chargers. Bit of a bad loss against the Chargers. And the Raiders, who are 4-5, coming off a win against the Giants, a blowout win against the Giants. I feel like we rarely say a blowout win for the Raiders, but that's what happened. kind of a bit of a culture change with the Raiders. They look good. They look good, okay, but it was against a not very good Giants team. My goodness, they let me down so bad. I know Danny Dimes got injured, but my goodness, does that team just look terrible? What do you have on this one?
Oh man, okay, all right. So all you Raider fans that were like, "Oh man, you know what? Get rid of Jimmy G and fire the coach, and we need a change and everything." Man, you guys are on cloud 9 right now. Okay, you guys are on cloud 9 because when that happened, immediately you guys have a blowout victory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm not here to burst your bubble. I'm just here to bring you back down to terra firma. Okay. I don't think that really had anything to do. And if it did, okay, maybe it did have something to do with all that. All right. Maybe it did. But not to that point. Not to where you're going to be blowing out teams now. Chales. I don't think that's what's going to be happening now. It just happened to be against the New York Giants of New Jersey.
Right.
It just happened to be that week to do it. And look, if I were in charge of the Raiders and I was waiting to make that move to get rid of the head coach and we're gonna bench Jimmy G, honestly, that's the week I would do.
That would have been the
that would have been the week for me to do it. If I were the one calling the shots, I'm gonna be like, okay, you know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna wait till I can pretty much guarantee that we're going to get a victory. Because you do not want to make those changes and then you lose. You want to make those changes and you win. And boy, did they. I was watching the game. I got bored with it. So I started watching a different game. But wow. I mean, look, congratulations. Look, a victory is a victory, right? I mean, you got it. You earned it. Enjoy it on cloud 9, man. But honestly, I think you'll be brought back down to reality pretty soon. Is it going to happen this week? I want to hear what you have to say.
All right. I'm just going to kind of piggyback off of what you said. The Giants are a punching bag of a team. Okay. They are not good. They're just not. I don't know what happened. Daniel Jones is not the guy he was last year, which was he really even that good last year? I don't know. It seemed like he got paid and now he's just really injury prone, which kind of happens a lot more often than you think. But going into this one, it's a bit of a rough one only because the Jets are kind of hard to predict. You know, they have a tough defense. That's about it. That's really about it. That offense under Zach Wilson, the Zach attack is not good. He just isn't. That team, if they had Aaron Rodgers, they're definitely Super Bowl contenders.
Wow.
I would say that. Their defense is really good. Okay. They didn't look great against the Chargers. Hey, man, Chargers have a pretty good offense. Okay. Not the best, but they have a pretty good offense.
So Zachariah's the problem?
Most definitely.
Damn.
Most definitely.
Okay.
I mean, he hasn't really proved much.
Okay.
Like I said, that defense could win you a championship. Okay, I'll say that. Raiders, on the other hand, not really much impressed by the win against the Giants because it's against the Giants. I think they could win this one. I think they could pull it off.
Back-to-back victories on teams from New York, New Jersey?
Okay, yeah, but I'll say this. I don't think it's going to last forever. I don't think this win streak is going to last forever.
Okay.
But you're going up against two teams who are particularly good. The Jets are way better than Giants, which is that saying much? I don't really know. But I guess I'll go Raiders here.
All right, where's this game happening at?
Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Raiders. I'm gonna go Raiders. And you know what? That's even gonna make the Raiders believe that they were right all along. Like, yep, this was the problem, man. What's his name? Josh McDaniels, head coach, and you got to bench Jimmy G. And man, poor Jimmy G, man. This guy just gets, thrown around, man. Like, and I don't even think he does that bad. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, hey, this guy is the answer. This guy, is all that of a quarterback. But son of a gun, dog. I don't think he's that bad either. But hey, you know what? You guys come off of a blowout victory. And I think the Raiders are probably gonna get another victory here, and everybody's gonna be wolfing and rallying and parading, and yeah, we told you, and yeah, I think still get come crashing down, man.
Jimmy G is the best backup quarterback in the league. He's this generation's Charlie Batch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right,
man, Charlie Batch.
All right, next, guess who we got? We have the New York Giants of New Jersey going into Dallas to play the Cowboys. The Giants are 2-7, coming off a loss against the Raiders. And the Dallas Cowboys are 5-3, coming off a loss against the Eagles. You picked the Cowboys on there. What was up with that? Actually, okay, I'll say this. Cowboys did a lot better than I thought they would. Okay, they were that close to beating the Eagles.
This was a great game, man. I watched this game, America's Game of the Week. I thought it was badass. I loved it. When I think of football and why I love watching football, this game right here speaks volumes, man. I really enjoyed the heck out of this game and just going down to the wire, right? Just like, damn, the Cowboys are gonna pull this off, and of course they didn't. The thing is, the Eagles were looking very beatable, right? I know they're not undefeated, but they're looking very beatable. And, I know we'll get into the Niners, but man, goodness, dog, as the season goes on, they won, yes, but the Cowboys were in the mix the entire time, man. Look, just to keep it short, there is no way that the Giants are gonna win this game. Okay, I don't think there's any way that the Giants beat the Cowboys, dog. After the Cowboys having that great game and that very close finish, it just came up that short. Kind of reminds me of the movie Remember the Titan. I mean, not Remember the Titan. Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night
Lights, man. It was like that, right? Nah, dog. Man, Holmes, I think the Cowboys smoked the Giants.
Come on, this is a huge division rival team. Remember the old, games that they used to have?
Yeah.
With Eli Manning and Tony Romo.
Man, Texas people hate New York City folks, and New York City folks hate the dang, Cowboy freaking Texans.
It's actually just a perfect rivalry. Now that you explain it, it's just perfect. It really is. It really is. Big city. Well, I guess Dallas or Arlington is a pretty big size city too, but you get the point. Dallas. I don't really know what else to say. I liked what I saw from Dallas, but I'm gonna say this. I don't really think, and I'm talking just the whole NFL. Is there really a team? I mean, there's one in mind that comes to mind. Is there really a team that looks unbeatable? I'll tell you the team, but I'll let you go first.
That looks unbeatable right now.
Right now.
Okay. I think the Jags look pretty solid.
Okay.
I think they look pretty solid, man. No, and not that. I mean, the Eagles are still the Eagles, so I definitely got to throw them in there. But yeah, what's your thoughts?
Baltimore.
Ooh,
Baltimore. I hate to say it.
Okay.
I hate to say it. They blew Detroit out of the water this past week. Are you kidding me? Only holding them at 3 points. What was it? 38-3. They've looked really good ever since the Steeler game. Since then, they if there is anything close to looking unbeatable, it's been the Ravens. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It isn't. It isn't. But they're looking really good.
All right.
Next, we have an intriguing matchup. Probably the best one this week, hopefully. We have the San Francisco 49ers going into Jacksonville to play I almost said Panthers. Jaguars. The Niners are 5-3 coming off a bye. The Jaguars are 6-2, also coming off a bye.
Is it 3 straight losses that the Niners had, or did they have a victory somewhere in between?
3 straight losses. They haven't won since week 5.
Wow, man. I was here with the Niners, man. I was like, wow, you know what? They're the best team in all of the NFC, possibly the NFL. Then they lose one, and I'm like, yeah, it was gonna happen. You know, it was kind of odd that them and the Eagles both lost the same day to 2 AFC teams. That's when I made a video. Like, I just found that a little odd. And the Eagles, you know, turned back to the Eagles, and the Niners, I don't know, they said, like, well, 1 loss isn't enough. Let's do another one. Hey, 2, you know what? Why end this streak here? Let's start a little streak. Let's go for 3. Then we get a bye week. Niners, man, you guys got to turn this around. You can get left in the dust. And do I think it's going to happen? No. I don't think Niners are going to get left in the dust. I think Niners come back, and they're going to be pretty strong. This is a game that they can definitely lose to make it 4 losses in a row.
Most definitely.
Let me make that very, very, very clear. So will I be surprised if they lose 4 in a row? No. You know why? Because I'm actually picking the Jags to win this game. Do I think the Niners turn it around and be the Niners again? Yes. Just not this week.
Wow. I thought you were going to go Niners. I really did. Because I want to go Jags. I do.
Okay.
Okay, look. By no means am I saying that the Niners are a bad team, anything like that. But coming off of 3 losses and a bye, to face a Jaguar team that is hot,
which is also coming off of a bye.
They
could have cooled down from a bye week. That does happen. That does happen. You're rolling on all cylinders. Oh, a bye week happens and you cool off. You can't.
I don't see that with Jacksonville. Okay. I don't think that's the case with Jacksonville. I think this is for both teams a rough game after a bye. Oh my goodness. See, now I kind of want to pick Niners just because you picked Jacksonville. I'll do it, I guess. I guess I'm going Niners just because you're going Jacksonville. But I think Jacksonville takes it.
Oh, man. You're really going Niners?
I'll say this.
And it's Jacksonville, the weather conditions over there?
Not very. I'm sure it's not going to be very great. I remember stepping outside of the Florida airport. I forgot which one it was. It was muggy. My goodness. But they did get Chase Young, who is an absolute beast. Maybe that should help him defensively. Offense, Purdy needs to look better. He does. I'm not saying it's his fault. By no means am I saying that, but he needs to look better. And I hope he turns it around this week. Niners improved to 6-3. We'll see, man. We'll see. I could see it going either way, though.
McCaffrey's still doing his thing, man.
Always. He'll always be doing that. As long as he's on the field, he'll always be putting up numbers.
Yeah.
That's a must.
Yeah.
Last but certainly not least, we have the Green Bay Packers walking into Heinz Field to play the Steelers. The Packers are 3-5 coming off a win against the Rams. Steelers are 5-3 coming off a disgusting, ugly loss or win. I'm sorry. It should have been most of these wins should be losses, by the way. Win against the Titans. All right. What do we have here?
Let me tell you what the Steelers are. Okay. Quite a few years ago, there was a quarterback by the name of Tim Tebow. The Pittsburgh Steelers are Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was a horrible quarterback, but he kept winning. Knocked the Steelers out of the playoffs.
Tough subject for me.
It's just crazy. The guy just kept winning. But his numbers were horrible. This guy was terrible, but he kept winning. And they started playing that song, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. And I'm just like, dog, these Steelers are terrible, man. It's crazy how awful they look. But they're winning.
I don't get it.
I can't. You know what? Win ugly. If that is gonna be our season, if that's what it takes, that those are the victories you're gonna have, then keep doing it. Win ugly. What an ending to a game. I'm thinking, you know what? We got this game on lock. Oh no, we do not. Oh no, we do not. Why? Because immediately they flag TJ Watt, boom, roughing the quarterback, 15 yards. They start knocking some yardage down. There's only a few seconds left. They're right there. I forgot, man, 7 yards to the goal line or whatever. It's like right there. I'm like, son of a bastard. There is not enough time, especially for this offense, to come back and do anything. Like, it's over. Game over, man. And it gets picked off. Perfect. Good. What an ugly win, but nonetheless a win. Steelers are the Tim Tebow. It's crazy. Keep winning ugly, Steelers. Do what's working for you. Win ugly. I'm with it. Let's go. Nothing but ugly wins. I'm in it all the way, man. I'm in it all the way. Ugly wins all the way. Let's do it. That's our model.
I hate that. I hate that, man. Look, let me break down the game, okay? Because I didn't really do that. Steelers should have won this game pretty comfortably, okay? The Kenny Pickett was not consistent at all against the Titans. Part of that could have been due to the fact that, his ribs weren't 100%. But the guy wasn't consistent. Jaylen Warren had one heck of a game. I don't know his stat line, but he did really solid. George Pickens. What's up with this guy?
Okay. So this happens with the Steelers with pretty much every good/great receiver. So explain what's going on with Pickens now.
So Jorge, some of you may pronounce it that way. I say George, but he went out on Instagram and he posted something. I don't really know exactly what it was, but it was kind of small and it said "free me," at the corner. Obviously, people were able to notice that. Unfollowed all of his teammates, unfollowed Mike Tomlin. I know the day after he refollowed them, apparently, which I don't really know what's going on there. It just sounds so weird. Obviously, he's frustrated. I don't know if he's frustrated at himself or at the team exactly. That hasn't really been, disclosed or anything like that. Do you think he's more frustrated at himself or with the team? I'm not too sure.
I don't know, but there's definitely been a trend when it comes to receivers and the Steelers organization, once Bill Cowher left and Mike Tomlin took over, right? When Bill Cowher was there, we had, freaking Hines Ward and all that. But once Mike Tomlin was there, Santonio Holmes, great receiver, unhappy, took off, went to the Jets.
Emmanuel Sanders,
Mike Wallace, Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is Mike Tomlin. But there's definitely a trend, and this has been going on for years.
Yeah.
Of receivers that are just not happy. And I personally, I've always been one to point at the receiver and say, like, wow, this guy is a straight out, diva, man. He's a diva. You know what I mean? But just thinking about it, and you and I talked about it.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it, it's like, hey, this ain't the only one. Hey, remember this guy? Same thing. Remember that guy? Remember that guy? Remember that? It's like, wow, this goes back so many years until we go all the way back to Bill Cowher. Then I don't remember there being receiver problems or the receiver, right? The guy. And when Mike Tomlin's in there, now there's some issues with when it comes to receivers. Every time there's a receiver that's doing some damn good stuff that looks like he's going to be the weapon, the guy to go to, there happens to be some issue. Is it just a coincidence that it's every receiver? Maybe.
I don't know. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe because it's just a constant theme. It really is. And it's hard not to point the finger at Tomlin at this point. You know what I mean? It's like same thing with the offensive coordinator situation, Actually, I don't think Canada did too bad this past week. Do I still want him as coordinator? No, I think there's better options out there. I definitely do. Byron Leftwich, I'd much rather prefer him. And from what I've heard, he's reached out, completely ignored. But it's hard not to point the finger at Tomlin. But as far as this game, I don't even know. The Steelers should win this game. Packers aren't that good. They did beat the Rams, who had a second string quarterback, I believe. I go Steelers here. I go Steelers.
Yeah, I go Steelers. Usually I do the whole thing. If I'm not a Steelers fan, who would I go for? In this case, non-Steelers fan and as a Steelers fan, I go Steelers.
I have some faith that this could be an actual comfort game where it's maybe the Steelers could win by 2 possessions.
Ooh.
By the way,
that's bold.
By the way,
man.
Steelers will be wearing their throwback jerseys. The 70s ones.
Okay.
How do you like those ones? You like those throwbacks? Those throwbacks?
Not the Bumblebee.
Not the Bumblebee.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. They're cool. They're all right.
I like them. Me personally, I'm more of a Bumblebee guy. But I think
with the like tan pants.
My goodness, people say that that's such an ugly uniform. Maybe for me, it's just so ugly that it looks good. I don't know. Okay. I like it.
Should the Packers wear their like old school ones? They have that old school one too. It looks more like bluish with the tan pants. That would be badass, man. That would be badass. And throw some mud out there. Make it seem like they're playing football, way back in the day or something. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Get the helmets out of there and put leather heads on them.
If it were up to me, I'd bring back those Bumblebee jerseys. But yeah, I like them. I do. And I feel like it matches the team more compared to the Bumblebee ones. When they wore the Bumblebee ones, they had that, great offense. Now it's more of a defensive team. And of course, in the 70s, they had more of a defensive team from what I understand.
The Steel Curtain.
Little before my time, I wish I was able to watch that team. But yeah, I think it suits the team.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Look, I'm not as confident as you are.
I don't know why I
Okay. Would you be surprised if the Packers win?
I'm so disappointed. My goodness. Yeah, I would be surprised. I would be
Okay.
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Um, but look at this point, man. The Steelers are just winning.
We're in a weird time where there's actually a good chance that the Steelers could have a better record than the Niners, and the Steelers are nowhere near the level that the Niners are. Okay, I'm being honest with you, and that's just so weird. That's just so weird.
We will let your minds marinate on that one. Go Steelers.
Go Steelers, man.